Finally released on HBO Max for your viewing pleasure, Godzilla vs. Kong is a fun monster ride that claims the title as the best entry in the MonsterVerse saga. Let's break it down. We first meet Kong, who has grown considerably since his last outing in Kong Skull Island and is now housed in a special facility called the Kongtainment. This is where we are exposed to Kong's need, his motivation to find a permanent home as he quickly is outgrowing the facility, a sentiment expressed by Dr. Eileen Andrews and her team. It's also here we are introduced to Gia, the girl who can communicate with Kong. Meanwhile, Godzilla inexplicably shows up and causes massive damage, mostly concentrated on a facility owned by Apex, the offensive counterpart to Monarch, making him public enemy number one. It's here we are also introduced to Bernie Hayes, a provincial engineer at Apex, who is looking to expose the secrets of the shadowy company. Not long after this, we meet Madison from the last movie, as well as Josh Valentine, as they team up with Bernie to infiltrate Apex and find out why Godzilla is acting out of character. Moreover, we find out that the head of Apex, Walter Simmons, is looking to explore the Hollow Earth, a task for which he employs the help of crackpot and former employee of Monarch, Dr. Nathan Lind. Thrilled to have the financial and technological support of Apex, Nathan meets up with Dr. Eileen, who is initially hesitant to move Kong, fearing that Godzilla would sense the presence of another Alpha Titan, but soon capitulates because Kong needs a real home. Now sedated, Kong is being transported across the ocean to the Hollow Earth by Monarch and Apex, and it isn't long after this we are treated to the first round of Titan smashing action between the eponymous giant alphas. The fight is everything you were expecting and much more as Kong and Godzilla battle on the ships and underwater. The fight is dynamic and hard-hitting, but ends with Kong taking a loss as he is almost drowned by Godzilla. Godzilla leaves the devastation, believing Kong is dead. With Kong, Monarch and Apex continue transporting the king via helicopters so as to avoid attracting Godzilla. Soon Kong awakens, and with the promise of finding family and home, Kong leads Apex and their specially developed flying ships into the Hollow Earth. Crossing the threshold is a beautiful spectacle as we're treated to gravity and reality bending sequences, which reminded me of that trippy scene in 2001, A Space Odyssey. We arrive in the Hollow Earth, and it's a prehistoric landscape full of promise and wonder. And it's not long after this we are treated to more behemoth thrashing action as Kong takes on two flying serpent monsters called the Nozuki. Elsewhere, Madison and the MonsterVerse Scooby-Doo gang rather easily infiltrate the secret Apex facility and discovers that the company has built a mechanical Godzilla and is using skull crawlers to test the robotic Titan. They also find out that Mechagodzilla is being controlled by Ren Serizawa by harnessing the telepathic ability of the remains of Monster Zero, Ghidorah. It's time to subscribe, yeah. Hit the notification bell. Just let me know that you really care. So good, yeah. Subscribe now. Subscribe now. Notification bell. Oh yeah, dislike button and share the video. Oh yeah, peace. Thank you for watching. The energy signature of which lures Godzilla. The testing doesn't last long because Apex doesn't have an energy source strong enough to power Mechagodzilla. Arriving at the mountainous structure within which Kong and the gang discover his ancestral home, we learn more about the ancient battle between the two Titan species, and not long after that, Kong finds the axe made from the dorsal fin of a dead Godzilla-type monster. It begins glowing, signaling a power source within the giant cave and a slot in the shape of the axe. Kong places the axe in the slot, setting the cave alight with the newfound energy source. Maya Simmons, daughter of Walter Simmons, and her men deploy a drone that take a sample of the energy source, much to the chagrin of Eileen and Nathan. Her men make the mistake of pointing their weapons at the group, including Gia, which enrages Kong. He roars, awakening the war bats within the cave, and chaos ensues. Godzilla senses the energy source and blasts a hole right through the Hollow Earth. Trying to escape the cave, Maya in the high-tech ships opens fire on Kong, who quickly dispatches her. Kong then grabs the axe and jumps into the crater Godzilla made, coming out in Hong Kong, where he and Godzilla begin round 2. The ensuing fight is better than the first and vindicates all the hype leading up to the release of the movie. After a satisfying back and forth, Kong, with the help of his superpowered axe, manages to come out on top in this round, knocking Godzilla out for a little while, making the monsters even on the scorecards. This doesn't last long as Godzilla regroups and with a sequence of ferocious attacks takes Godzilla down, solidifying his victory by stepping on Kong's chest. Laying there dying, Gia, Eileen, and Nathan try to figure out a way to restart Kong's heart. Now, despite warnings of instability by Ren, Walter Simmons uses the power signature discovered in the Hollow Earth to power Mechagodzilla. This soon fries Ren's brain, relinquishing power to and resurrecting King Ghidorah, who soon kills Walter and begins his rampage. The climactic battle sees Mechagodzilla completely annihilate Godzilla. This is especially impressive because it's hard to imagine anything matching up to Godzilla, especially after experiencing the previous matchups. Meanwhile, Nathan manages to revive Kong by using the advanced tech of the ship they used to enter the Hollow Earth, which happens just in time as Mechagodzilla is about to fire an atomic blast into Godzilla's mouth to finish him off. Gia convinces Kong to team up with Godzilla, and he pounces on Mechagodzilla in the nick of time. Even though it's a 3-on-1 fight, Mechagodzilla is still dominant, and it's only when Godzilla powers Kong's axe, a moment that will make you cheer, that Kong is able to turn the tables. And with the assistance of the MonsterVerse Scooby-Doo gang, who momentarily short-circuit Mechagodzilla, Kong is able to completely dismantle Mechagodzilla, ripping off his head in triumph. Godzilla then rises, and it seems as though the remaining Titans are about to go at it again, but Kong drops the axe, and Godzilla wanders off. Soon we're back in the Hollow Earth, where Monarch has set up a Kong observation outpost. Kong has now found his home and domain, a place where he can be the king. Now, except for Shin Godzilla, which satirizes governmental response to large-scale disasters, all of these movies, since their inception, suffer from the same ailment, and that is the human element. Apart from Gia, none of the characters present any substance, but are there for exposition and to put the monster chaos into context. But that doesn't spoil the fun, as Godzilla vs. Kong delivers what it promised, especially compared to the other versus movies such as Aliens vs. Predator, Cowboys vs. Aliens, and the like. The movie manages to make the motivations of the monsters understandable, thereby making their matchups exciting. Even Mechagodzilla shines as it continues its arc from King of the Monsters. Moreover, Godzilla vs. Kong does a great job of tying up narrative beats introduced in the previous movies, making a rewatch of the MonsterVerse a satisfying endeavor. I'm excited to see where the MonsterVerse goes from here, as the movie ends with exciting prospects for the future.